Step into Seven Winds Casino Lodge and Conference Center.
Come and discover everything we have to offer.
Unlimited gaming action. Northwoods hospitality. Delicious all-you-can-eat buffet. Relaxation and comfort. Great drinks and good times. Big wins, big fun. It's all here at Seven Winds Casino Lodge and Conference Center in the heart of the Great Northwoods.
Hello, I'm Kimberlie, and welcome to the Native News Update. It's Friday, August 17th. Many of the stories you hear here can be found at IndianCountryTV.com. And here's the news for today from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. As Native American communities are trying to grow their agricultural presence even larger to preserve their cultural and traditions, a new Native American Agricultural Fund has been established. This new fund is the largest U.S. philanthropy serving Native American farmers and ranchers to date. The fund was recently established to distribute $266 million from the landmark 2010 Keepseagle settlement, in which the U.S. government agreed to for almost 20 years of official discrimination. The fund's 14-member board of trustees, who come from tribal communities across the nation, held its first meeting in late July. The fund is set up to issue grants for business assistance, education, and technical support, and recipients may include new nonprofits as well as certain agencies of tribal governments. The trustees plan to hold meetings with Native American farmers and ranchers as soon as they launch the fund's website. The goal is to help the board determine how to meet their needs through the grant-making process. The U.S. Department of Energy announced nearly $9 million in funding for 15 tribal energy infrastructure projects. This funding through the DOE Office of Indian Energy Policy and Programs will help Native American and Alaska Native communities harness their vast underdeveloped energy resources to reduce and stabilize energy costs as well as increase energy security and resilience. In related news, the Office of Indian Energy also recently released the Tribal Energy Atlas, a first-of-its-kind interactive geospatial application that enables tribes to conduct their own analysis of installed energy projects and resource potential on tribal lands. Developed by researchers from DOE's National Renewable Energy Laboratory, it's the most robust tool ever designed to assist tribal energy project planners, technicians, and investors with analyzing energy options in Indian country. For more information, you can check out energy.gov/Indian Energy. The Cherokee Nation hosted more than 30 U.S. attorneys from across the nation who work in districts involving tribes and tribal land. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District in Tulsa, Oklahoma, hosted this year's Native American Issues Subcommittee and held one of its two-day sessions at the W.W. Keeler Tribal Complex in Tahlequah. Attorneys discussed tribal law enforcement partnerships with the Cherokee Nation Marshals and meth and opioid issues in Indian country, along with federal efforts to increase tribal court capacity with the Cherokee Nation Attorney General's Office. The National Endowment of the Humanities has announced over $43 million in awards for 218 humanities projects across the country. Among them was a $311,641 grant to fund the expansion of the Myaamia Center's work on revitalizing Indigenous languages. This famed Native American program at Myaamia University in Ohio has landed the nationally acclaimed grant for its work on ancient language and culture. The program's director is the same university professor who 2 years ago won international fame and a $625,000 MacArthur Genius Grant for his work with the Myaamia Center. The MacArthur Grant was awarded to Darrell Baldwin, director of the center, and an assistant professor of linguistics at the university, for their project entitled National Breath of Life 2.0, Creating a Second Breath for Indigenous Language Revitalization. In 2012, Myaamia, with a National Endowment grant, developed software to create the Myaamia, Illinois Digital Archive for Indigenous Languages. This new grant from the National Endowment for the Humanities will allow for the improvements and expansion of the existing digital archives and the development of software to identify and analyze archival materials. In addition, it will provide for 2 training workshops for tribal representatives and scholars engaged in language revitalization efforts. Nicole Gonzalez, a Navajo midwife and nurse, wants to change the sterile and impersonal birthing experience found in hospital settings for Indigenous women and bring the focus back on traditional ways. One of just 15 Native American midwives in the United States, Gonzalez founded the Changing Woman Initiative, a nonprofit that aims to revolutionize how people, particularly Native women, think about reproductive health. A major goal of the initiative is to open a reproductive wellness and birth center in New Mexico. The center will be open to all, but will focus on providing equitable, thoughtful, and culturally relevant productive health care that will strengthen Indigenous women's bonds to family and community. Education that helps empower women to be proactive with their health care is an important component of the Changing Woman Initiative. For more information, you can check out changingwomaninitiative.com. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me and have a grand day.